Welcome to Lit with Ernest, the show where we dive into the world of literature and explore the most iconic works that have shaped our culture. Today, we're going to talk about Martin Luther's speech before the Diet of Worms, a pivotal moment in history that has had a lasting impact on literature, politics, and society. To set the stage, let's go back to 1521, when Martin Luther, a German theologian and reformer, was summoned to appear before the Holy Roman Emperor Charles V and the Diet of Worms, a gathering of high-ranking clergy and nobles. Luther had been criticizing the Catholic Church's practices, such as the sale of indulgences, and his ideas were spreading like wildfire across Europe. The Church saw him as a threat, and they wanted to silence him. Luther's speech before the Diet of Worms is a masterpiece of rhetoric, a powerful expression of conviction and courage in the face of overwhelming opposition. He stood before the assembly and refused to recant his views, citing scripture and reason as his guides. This moment marked a turning point in the Protestant Reformation, a movement that would change the course of Western history. From a literary perspective, Luther's speech is a remarkable example of persuasive writing. He uses rhetorical devices such as repetition, metaphor, and allusion to drive home his points and convince his audience. For instance, he compares the Church's practices to a den of thieves and argues that true faith comes from Scripture alone, not from human traditions. His use of biblical language and imagery adds depth and authority to his arguments, making his speech a compelling example of literary craftsmanship. One of the key themes in Luther's speech is the idea of conscience and the importance of standing up for what one believes in, even if it means going against the established order. This theme has resonated with readers across centuries, inspiring countless writers, thinkers, and activists to challenge unjust systems and fight for their rights. For example, John Milton's Areopagitica and Martin Luther King Jr.'s letter from Birmingham jail both reflect the influence of Luther's ideas on the power of conscience and the need for individual freedom. The cultural impact of Luther's speech cannot be overstated. It has influenced generations of writers, from John Bunyan to Friedrich Nietzsche, and continues to shape contemporary debates about politics, religion, and social justice. The idea that individuals have the right to question authority and challenge unjust systems is a fundamental principle of modern democracy, and it owes a significant debt to Luther's courageous stand before the Diet of Worms. In modern times, we see echoes of Luther's speech in movements such as the Civil Rights Movement, where leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. drew on the same biblical language and imagery to argue for justice and equality. We also see it in the feminist movement, where women like Sojourner Truth and Elizabeth Cady Stanton use their voices to challenge patriarchal norms and demand equal rights. So why does this work remain important or relevant to modern readers? I think it's because we're still grappling with the same questions that Luther faced. What do we stand for? How do we speak truth to power? These are not just historical questions, they're literary ones, and they're at the heart of what makes Speech Before the Diet of Worms such a powerful and enduring work. As we reflect on this speech, let's remember that literature is not just about words on a page. It's about the world we live in, the values we hold dear, and the convictions that drive us. It's about the power of language to shape our thoughts, our beliefs, and our actions. Luther's speech before the Diet of Worms is a testament to the enduring power of ideas and the human spirit, and it continues to inspire us today. Like this episode, if it hit true. Share it if you respect honest talk about books. Subscribe because we'll do this again. This is Ernest, signing off.